Hello, everybody. We're coming to you from the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival. So today we're going to be going through. I'm eating a Uncrustable. They have free Uncrustables here right now. We're going to be coming from here up to Italy and taking a look at the topiaries for the festival this year. We're going to be doing the other half probably next week or maybe the week after. And then we'll be doing the front ones sometime after that too. So let's start walking around here. We are celebrating the 30th anniversary of the festival here. And our first one here is going to be Encanto. We got Louisa Maribel. Okay, let's make our way towards Mexico. So, I've been to the festival twice this year, but both times I've not been on the part that we're doing right now. So I don't know if we have any new topiaries that are going to be coming through on this pathway that we're going to be going through today. But hopefully there's something new. Here we got a butterfly topiary. The butterfly topiary is going to be the most prominent ones found throughout the festival. We got them here. We got them over at the Butterfly Garden House. That's going to be found between the Land Pavilion and the Imagination Pavilion. And then in addition to that, there are going to be some on the walkway between the front of the park and the back of the park. I always want to say Future World, but it's no longer Future World. Now it's World Celebration and World Nature and World everything. Everything's world something in the Walt Disney World. Oh yeah, our next one that we're going to be coming up to is going to be found up here on the left-hand side. This is one that it used to be the Three Caballeros for years and years and years, because obviously the Three Caballeros are going to be the main characters that are found here at the Mexico Pavilion. But obviously with the popularity of the movie Coco, that has swapped up over recent years. So last year they added a brand new Miguel and Dante topiary, which I'm going to squeeze over to in just a second here, as soon as people get out of the way. There you go. So here we have Miguel from Coco. We also have Dante from Coco. The really cool thing about these topiaries is this topiary right here, the Dante one, is the first one to have special lighting. So if you actually come here at night, it's got like a really cool glow to it. So check out these topiaries not just during the day, but at night as well. It's got like the projected mapping of the lighting. That can be found on the stuff behind us here. Is where it happens. We're going to keep on going on our way up towards Italy. Looks like we got a lot of people who just joined us. So for these guys just joining us right now, we are coming to you from the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival. This is the 30th anniversary of the festival. Today we're going to go through and take a look at the topiaries from the center one that we started off at, which was Encanto, and we just saw Coco, and we're going to make our way up to Italy to see all the topiaries along the way. And then next week we'll be coming back live around the same time, 1 o'clock Saturday, to take a look at the ones on the other side. And then eventually we'll be going to the front of the park. And for those of you who are Grand Fiesta fans, that will be reopening next Saturday as well. I don't know if it's going to have a huge line or not. I'll be going there next Saturday because I missed it, and I also want to see if there's any changes that happened in it. But it was a pretty short refurb, just 3 months. Okay, the next topiary we're going to be coming up to here is actually going to be one of the original topiaries. So this one actually has been around for 30 years. There are a few that have been around for the whole 30 years. Now we're actually going to be seeing 2 of them today, possibly 3. I think it's only 2 though. Pretty sure it's only 2. But this one has gone through quite a few changes throughout the years. It's going to be the troll that's up here in Norway. It's been in multiple locations in the Norway Pavilion as well. But when the festival first started 30 years ago, this was just a blob of plants that was in the shape of a troll, but it didn't really have any distinct features. As the years have gone on, we have seen that he has more and more personality traits to make him the lovely troll that we all know and love today. And I always think it's great. Whenever we post this online, we become an internet troll. But I think they were here last year. They could be new. It's very impressive, though. If you go back, well, next week when we come live, we'll be going to you from the UK Pavilion, and in the back of the UK Pavilion, they also have it so there is old topiaries from when the festival first started. So you can kind of see how the topiary process has evolved throughout the years. And there's no real definitive shape. I mean, there's a shape, but there's no definitive details on there to really make it stand out and make it unique. And as you can see, it's a little crowded here at Epcot today. It is the first Saturday of the Flower Garden Festival, so it does make sense. And we're making our way up here to the next one. These two joined us in the year 2014. The Elsa and Anna from Frozen. These two topiaries have been everywhere. They started off at the front of the park, then they made their way over actually to Disney's Hollywood Studios for a while. Then they made their way to the entrance to World Showcase until about 6 years ago. They then made their way over here. And they've been everywhere here too. They've been here, they've been where the troll was, they were over here 2 years ago. So they've kind of been everywhere. And Elsa's dress is new this year too. Okay, let's continue on towards China. China's going to be the other location where we have some of the original topiaries in addition to the troll. These ones also will have had it, so they've gone through quite the history throughout the years. Not just the definitive shape of them, but also the location of them. For the first several years, they were found right here on the left-hand side. Now we have bonsai trees that have been here for the last few years, in addition to the bonsai trees that you can find over in the Japan Pavilion. This guy's got road rage. Okay, so in the China Pavilion, we do not have a definitive character that is represented, which makes me bummed because I would love to see a Mushu topiary, or a Mulan topiary, or a Cricky topiary. A Cricky one would be really cool. But we still have the original topiaries here that have been around since the start of the festival. And that's going to be these 3 pandas here. Where do they keep them? So they keep the flowers and grow them behind Animal Kingdom. So behind the Animal Kingdom, there's actually a nursery back there. Not for children, but for plants. And so they have it so if you ever have done the Walt Disney World Marathon, when you're actually entering into Animal Kingdom through backstage, off on the right-hand side, you can actually see the location where they keep all the plants. And it's not just the plants for this, it's actually for all the plants found throughout Walt Disney World. So a lot of the more unique trees and plants that you can find here at Walt Disney World, most of them have a double at the nursery. So that way, if anything happens to one of those trees, they can go over to the nursery, they can get its sister plant, and then replace it overnight, and and most people will have no idea that it was ever gone. Now, this isn't true for every tree in Walt Disney World, because it's a lot of trees. But if it's a tree that's a little more unique and a little more prevalent to the area, they'll have it so you can go through and they'll have a double there. Alright, so we are going to make 2 more stops here in Germany and Italy before we wrap up today's walkthrough. So the Germany one does have some topiaries that disappeared for a while, that also were around years ago, and actually has one of the most unique histories for some of the topiaries, because some of these topiaries will disappear, then will come back, and will disappear, then will come back, and so on and so forth. So then we're over here. I like the feeling happy one, the orange bird. I don't know if I need another hat because I've only got like enough for one for each day of the year. But there are leap years. Alright, so I think we're going to start off with the character ones because I think it's going to be easier for us to get to. And then we'll take a look at those other ones that have been kind of around since the olden days of the festival and then kind of come and gone throughout the years. Alright, so the first one we're going to see is going to be found here on the right-hand side. This is going to be the Seven Dwarfs along with Snow White. Now, Snow White has been around pretty much since the start of the festival, but again, no concrete look that it was her. And then about 7 or 8 years ago, we got the Seven Dwarfs added to them as well. We had Snow White by herself, and then Dopey was added, and then it was just Snow White and Dopey for a while. Then it was just Dopey for a few years, and then Snow White and Dopey came back together, and then we got all of the dwarfs as well. So here we have Sneezy with a caterpillar on his nose. We got Bashful there. His cheeks are a little redder. We got Sleepy there. His eyelids are half closed. We got Happy. Just happy to be here. We got Grumpy. And then the leader of the line, we got Doc. And this is also the same order that they walk in the movie too. It goes Doc, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, Bashful, Sneezy, and then Dopey brings up the rear. We have Dopey here by himself. Well, not by himself. We got Snow White there too, but he's the only dwarf that's over here. This is Epcot, yes. We'll go over here. You got the Spaceship Earth. Off in the distance there. Oh, yeah, on the other side here, we have more trolls. These are trolls from German folklore. And these are ones that were around in the early years of the festival, and then they disappeared. And then recently, they've returned. I think it was last year was the first year they came back. Maybe it was 2 years ago now. All these years are blended together. Alright, but that's going to bring us to our final pavilion for today, which is going to be the Italy Pavilion. While we walk up to the Italy Pavilion, talk a little bit about the history of this one as well. This is another character that's been around since the earlier days of the festival. They've been here for at least over half of the years of the festival, but not all of the years. But there's a few things about this one that have always driven me crazy. I'm gonna give like a whole build up, and it's not even gonna be here. Like I said, I have not been over here yet this year. But when you think of famous Disney Italian films, I typically think of Pinocchio, you know, based in Italy. But here at the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival, they think of which character has ate at an Italian restaurant. And actually, that would be Lady and the Tramp. So even though Lady and the Tramp does take place in Marceline, Missouri, that's right, Walt Disney's hometown of Marceline, Missouri, that somehow gives them the fact that they should be here in the Italy Pavilion just because they ate at an Italian restaurant in the movie. Ladies' ears are a little bit better this year. They have driven me crazy in the past. There's been 2 years where they did not drive me crazy. But this year actually is not too bad. There we have Lady and the Tramp from the classic film Lady and the Tramp, 1955. All right, but this is where we're going to be wrapping up our broadcast here. As always, if you're not already subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe. We'll be back next Saturday for another live feed from the festival to take a look at the Canada up until America pavilions to look at those topiaries as well. So make sure you join us then. As always, if you're not subscribed, though, make sure you subscribe. We will see you guys all a little later. I hope everyone out there is having a great day, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Yeah.